Okay, so you're looking for an all-in-one solution to your online one-to-one meets and live streaming. Well, in this video, I'm going to show you how you can use Restream to do just that. So Restream is normally used as a live streaming tool so that you can actually publicly go live across multiple channels, in fact, up to 30 channels. However, there is a hidden feature inside of Restream, which I'm going to show you how to use today. Now, hidden inside of the live studio, there is the ability for you to invite one-to-one guests or up to 10 different guests to your studio in order for you to host a private meeting where maybe you might want to run a masterclass or you might want to run a networking event. So before we jump into the studio, I just want to quickly introduce myself and remind you to subscribe to my channel and ring the bell if you want notification of the next time I upload an awesome video like this one. So my name is Anita and I am a digital visibility strategist and tech enabler. So I help you to understand how to use the tools at your fingertips that will give you the visibility you and your business deserves. Okay, so let's jump straight into the Restream dashboard and I'll show you step by step how to convert your live studio into a private meeting room. So here we are inside our Restream account. Now, the first step that we need to do in order to make our live studio private is to actually switch off all of the channels that you have set up as a destination. So in order for you to do that, all you have to do is go to the toggle and just switch them off. Now, what this is going to do is it's going to switch off the connection between your live studio and the channels that you normally live stream to. Now, this doesn't remove them, it just switches them off so that you can host your meeting in private. And then the second step is to actually jump into the live studio, which you can get to by clicking the big bright orange button just here. Okay, so here we are inside the live studio. Now, just to be sure that your channels are switched off, you can double check those inside the setup tab just here. So when you click on the setup tab, just scroll down and you can just double check that you haven't missed any of the channels off of your destinations and just make sure that they're all switched off, because that's going to be crucial when we actually start our private meeting. Now, another really good benefit of this particular way of using the live studio to host your private meetings is that you can actually have a recording. So what we are going to be doing is we are actually going to be pressing the go live button, but we aren't going to be going live across to our social platforms. But what we are doing by clicking the go live button is that we are recording our private meeting. So in a moment, I have invited a couple of my colleagues to join me inside the studio so that you can actually see what it's like to host a private meeting inside of the live studio. But in order for me to invite my colleagues to join me, I need to send them a unique link. And to get that link, all you need to do is go down to this part of the live studio where it has the little person with the plus sign. When you click that, it's going to give you a unique link to send to your guests to invite them into the studio. All you have to do is click the copy button and send that to your colleagues, whether you send that to them in an email or in Messenger or on a message or in WhatsApp. Wherever you send it, they'll be able to join you inside the live studio as a guest from their laptop or from their mobile phone. You can host up to 10 people inside of your private meeting. So it's an optimum place for you to host a networking meeting or a workshop or a masterclass, or just a one-to-one private conversation that you might need to do for your business growth. So in a moment, we're going to see my colleague join me inside the studio, and she's going to be in the background of the studio, and her details are going to come up just underneath mine in a black and white format. As you can see, my guest has just joined me in the studio and she's been placed directly underneath my mini window. Now, at the moment, she is in a black and white format, which means that she's sitting backstage and not inside the meeting with me. So in order for me to join her into the meeting, all I have to do is click this toggle. And that's going to bring my guest, Claudia, into the meeting. Okay, so as you can see, I've added Claudia into the studio, and she's sitting next to me just over there on the window. Now, I do have another guest as well inside the backstage area waiting to come in. So I'm going to ask Alex to come in as well, and that's going to show us in a group of 3. Now, I'm not actually recording my meeting yet because I'm just waiting for the guests to come in. So in the next stage of how to use your live studio as a private meeting room, you will need to click the go live button in order to have a recording. And I'm going to show you how to do that in a second. But first of all, I'm going to invite Alex into the meeting. So I'm just going to click the button and Alex pops in. Hi, Alex. Hi, Claudia. Okay, so now I have my guests inside my studio. I can have a private conversation with them inside of here because obviously I'm not live streaming to anywhere. However, I'm going to record this video so that I can send it to my guests so that they can re-watch it. So in order for me to actually record the video inside my live streaming app, which is in the live studio, I do have to click the go live button. Now, clicking the go live button is going to actually just initiate the recording settings inside of Restream. It's not actually going to take us live into the social channels. So now I'm actually able to host a private session and also record it so that I can send the replay to my guests. Now, there are some other features that we can do in here. So for instance, at the moment, we can see that I'm on the left, Claudia's next to me, and Alex is underneath me. However, I can actually drag Alex up to the top and replace her position so that we move around the studio. So perhaps if I wanted to let Alex contribute to the conversation, which we would do if we were like perhaps hosting an online networking meeting, then I could make her at the top. I can also make one of us the spotlight. So I could make Claudia spotlight. So I can make her the biggest person in the room so she could actually lead the conversation. I could also make her go down so that the 2 of us that aren't talking are still visible on the screen, which is quite a nice feature because it means that we're still present inside the conversation. So there's quite a few things we could do with the layout of the clients that are joining you. And also we can have up to 10 of us in this room. So it's not just one-to-one, it can actually be up to 10 people, maybe in a mini masterclass or in a networking. Now, one of the really good things about this is that we can actually share our screen at the same time. So I could go ahead and share my screen by clicking the share screen button and choosing a different application window. So for instance, I could share a web browser to the screen and we could then have my web browser on. And I can add that into the screen so I can share that by clicking the remove from stream or add it to the stream. I can also make that the focal point and put us down the bottom so that all 3 of us are in the room at the same time, which is a really good feature. Another thing that you can do is you can also share your PowerPoints as well by clicking the share screen and then opening up your PowerPoint as an additional window. So if I click that and share, it means that I've now got my PowerPoint visible by adding it into the stream. So that's a really good feature as well. So adding this into a private meeting room enables you to really utilize all of the tools available to host a one-to-one meeting. So I want to let Claudia and Alex just say hi and introduce themselves to you because they are going to be on this recording. So Claudia, do you want to just let everyone know what it is that you do?
Yes, excellent. Thank you very much. I'm Claudia Dixon and I'm a native German tutor and language specialist, and I help professionals and young adults to speak German like a native.
Brilliant, thank you. And Alex, do you want to just quickly tell us what you do?
Yeah, certainly. I'm Alex Brown and I help people find their fabulous with Arbonne products for the mind, body and skin.
Brilliant, thank you. Okay, so as you can see, it's really good to have like this one-to-one conversation with each other. Now, also, another thing that you could do in here is actually add some captions to the screen if you wanted to. So I could actually put a title for my actual thing. So you could actually put a title for your discussion. And then you can add that caption to the screen as well. And then that would actually show up on the screen. So you can actually have prompts to help you run your networking meeting or your workshop or anything like that. So that's quite a good tool as well. So a little bonus just to let you know about the cosmetics of what the live studio looks like. And for instance, if you wanted to brand it to match your business brand, you can actually change the background colors. So to do that, you would go to this graphics tab up here on the right hand side, and this graphics tab is going to enable you to add in a background. So you've got all these backgrounds that Restream have already created for you, but you can actually upload your own background as well. So if you wanted to make one more branded, you could do that. And it would need to just be 1920 by 1080 pixels. And you can swap them around by just clicking show, and it will change the background. So as you can see, we've got the sweeties in there. But you can have lots of different ones. So we could go to outer space if we wanted to, or we could go a bit twirly. So depending on what type of background you wanted, so I could do a slightly more orange tinge, although I do prefer the blue. Another thing that you could do as well inside of this live studio is you can utilize the video. So perhaps whilst people were entering the live studio for your private conversation, you could actually do a little timer which will go over everybody else. So it actually gives like an introductory. So while people are joining you backstage, before you've added them into the conversation, you could actually have a little video playing, and you can actually upload your own little pre-video as well if you wanted to. And then to just remove it, you would click the hide button, and then we would all come back onto the screen. You can also have some overlays around the outside, which could also be branded. So here we have the Restream one, which would go over the picture. But if you wanted to have like a nice border around the outside, like I've done, I've put like an orange border around. So there's all sorts of different things that you can do to personalize and brand your private meeting room inside of your Restream studio. Whilst we're recording the video and hosting our one-to-one meeting, we can actually take people in and out of the conversation as well. So perhaps if I didn't want Alex or Claudia in the meeting with me, I could actually just pop them backstage until it was their turn to maybe join in the discussion, or whether we wanted to have like a 5-minute each, and then I would talk, and then obviously then I could add Claudia to the screen, and I could actually remove myself as well by clicking this, or making myself smaller by clicking around with the different things. So Claudia could take the lead in the conversation and I could sit in the background, and then we can of course add Alex in at any point and she would join us down there, which is awesome. Okay, another thing that you can do whilst we are inside our private room and having a conversation with our clients inside our private room is actually type some private messages to them. So down here, there is a private chat widget. And if I bring that up, I can actually chat to people. So what I can do is once I've written my message, I just tap that I'm sending it, and it will send it to the other participants in the room and they'll be able to see it. So can you see that message, Alex and Claudia? Yep, so they are. Claudia's answered back and said yes. So this is a really good way of you maybe stimulating conversation in your room. You could perhaps have a couple of questions in your notes on your computer that you could just copy and paste into there to help your participants perhaps take part in the conversation. Or if you've got a masterclass or you're doing a workshop, then you could actually use the private chat for that purpose as well. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you how to actually remove the participants from the meeting, and to do that all you would do is again click them to the backstage and they would be removed. And then what you could do once you've finished a meeting is click finish and click OK, and what will happen is that the meeting is over and the recording will be stored inside the cloud area just over here on your dashboard. So if you click that, it will take you to the recording area where you'll be able to download your recording from within your Restream dashboard so that you could send it to your participants of your meeting at a future date. Okay, so when your meeting's over, you can actually ask your guests to leave themselves, or you can end the meeting yourself by just closing down your Restream app. But it's probably nice to just make sure that all the guests have left. So if you're a guest inside of the meeting room, all you have to do to leave is to hover over the grey button and it will turn red and it will just give you the options to leave. So that's what my guests are going to do right now. See you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, so now they've left. They've also left the backstage area of my meeting room. So all that I have to do now is to go over to this cloud button here on the left, which says recordings, and it's going to open up the recordings window inside of your Restream Studio dashboard. And here you can see that this is the one that I just recorded, and you can press play to watch your video. I'll show you how to actually remove the participants from the. So as you can see the video before you download it. And then what you can do is you can actually download it to your computer, and you can also download the audio only. So if you have got a meeting that you might want to repurpose into a podcast, for example, you can actually download the audio to your computer as well and repurpose that to the podcast. So if you discovered this video and you haven't got a Restream account and you would like to try out Restream for free, you can pick up a link underneath this video in the description, and you'll be able to sign up for free and give it a go. Any questions whatsoever, please pop them in the comments below this video and I will answer them as soon as I get notified. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and ring the bell if you want notification of the next time I go live. Give me the thumbs up if you've enjoyed this video, and don't forget to share it with your friends and colleagues if you think they would benefit from the video too. All that's left to say is to take care, and I will see you in the next video.